Hi everybody, Miss Lalonde here.
Hi, it's Miss Appleby, guys.
So we wanted to introduce you to our Wellness at Home website. So this is called Be Well, and this is for our remote learning currently. It has health and wellness tips for scholars and families. It also has mental health resources, food resources, and some other things that parents are looking for right now. So Miss Appleby is just going to scroll through. You can kind of get an idea of what's going on here. Um, Here are our pictures and our contact information, so you can see our websites on there, as well as a direct phone number to Miss Appleby and I. We really wanted to provide that to you guys. This isn't a website where you're, or a direct line where you're going to get a voicemail. You might still get our voicemail, but these are direct phone numbers to us. So if you need to contact us for any reason, please feel free to reach out. So our first topic in the home bar here is talking to your children about COVID-19. We understand that this is a hard topic to discuss with your kids, so it's just some good resources, some tips from me, and some other suggestions on how to do it. My Hero Is You is a free ebook, and it's also a website just dedicated to how to talk to your kids about COVID-19. There's a parenting, a little video here for parents, and then some videos for some children. Miss Appleby, if you want to skip over to Wellness at Home, thank you. So establishing a routine. So that's a really important thing for kids right now. It just gives you some pointers again on how to establish a routine. It also is a direct link to our PDFs for the children in our school by age group and by grade, their suggested routine. Be positive and resilient. These are tips on how to follow the growth mindset and how to really be positive in such a hard time. Miss Appleby, can you take us into Be Active? So Be Active is a link here that shows us different ways to keep our bodies moving. We have Miss Morrison's dance challenge, of course, first here. And then as we scroll down, we see we have Cosmic Kids Yoga, which is a great way to get your body moving, keep you, stretched out, and keep the kids moving. And then my personal favorite one is at the bottom here, which is Come Back to School with Some New Moves, which is Easy Kids choreography, and it's just some pretty good music. So definitely a suggestion on that one. It's great. It also, we have Eat Healthy, which has some different recipes for family. And then we have self-care for adults and children. So what you're going to find in there is, again, self-care for adults and children. We thought it was really important to include adults in this because it's important for parents and caregivers to take care of themselves during this time as well. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. So we just have some suggestions here for kids self-care, which most of your kids have learned at Brighter Choice on how to take care of themselves, how to take a break. Most classrooms have a cozy corner or a break area, so they know how to use that. We have some journaling for kids and just some other activities. So feel free to check this out. We have grounding and meditation. There's all kinds of great resources here for parents and families.
All right. So we're going to go into emotional intelligence. So when you hear your scholar talking about being in the red or being in the blue, what they're talking about is this ruler program, and they're talking about emotional intelligence. So here I have a ton of resources for parents on how we implement ruler in school, what it's all about, why it's important that we use it. And then here are the 4 main components of ruler. So there's a web page for each of these components. There's an emotional intelligence charter, which is really important, kind of sets a norm for the classroom about how we want to feel and how do we manage hurt feelings, but you can also do them for at home too. I'm going to take you into the mood meter page in just a second and show you more about that. Just before we left from school, your children were learning about the meta moment, which is a pause and self-regulation skill that we teach. So when something happens to us that makes us uncomfortable or upset, how do we manage that strong emotion so that we don't get in trouble or we don't hurt someone's feelings or we don't say or do something that we're going to regret. There's also, which might help with some of your older scholars who are having issues with their siblings, this is called the blueprint. The blueprint is a problem solving tool that we use, and it goes through and it not only talks about how the person was feeling in that conflict, how I felt, what I thought happened, how I thought the other person feels. It really goes into using our empathy skills because we're not the only person in that problem. So we have the blueprint there. If you're having sibling fighting, this would be a really good tool to use right now. So I'm going to take you into, oh, there's some of our scholars using the mood meter right there. I believe that was in the 3rd grade class. So the mood meter is really cool. There's 4 different quadrants, and you can learn all about them by just clicking on one of these links. The first thing you'll see is a list of feelings that are in that quadrant, and then some facial expressions to help kids identify how somebody's feeling. But then I also have some music that might, either get you out of a certain quadrant if you don't want to be there, or this, for example, is like some calming music or whatnot. The other thing I wanted to show you, which is really important, is the activities for feeling words. So what you would do is you would go into one of those quadrants, pick a feeling word, and then you can do any of these activities that you see listed here using those feeling words. There's tons of stuff that kids can do by themselves. There's stuff that you can do as a family. One of my favorite ones, and some of our scholars already have done this, is creating their own recovery area. It's that safe space where they're upset, they can go, they can calm down, relax, and then come back to what they were doing. So there's a bunch of resources here for activities for scholars to do. Our next tab is the character education tab. So this is what they would have been getting if they were in school with me doing character education. So the program that we use is called Second Step, and it comes from the Committee for Children. So you'll see that name on here a lot. It's the primary social skills program that we use at Brighter Choice Charter School for Girls. So you have a little, if you click on the links here, there's a little synopsis about what the program is. Here's our scope and sequences. So if you're ever curious about what lessons will my scholar be getting throughout the year, you can click on this link and it'll bring you, and you just look for your grade level and you can see what your scholar will be learning in character ed. The one thing that's really cool, and I'm very, very fortunate that we use this program, is right now Second Step is allowing families to create their own account, which is unprecedented. So you have access to everything that I have access to, videos, resources, lessons, all sorts of things. So there's a quick little, it literally takes less than 5 minutes to create your own Second Step account. And then if you scroll down a little bit further, it asks for an activation key. So down here, you'll find your scholar's grade level. There's the activation keys down here. But if we click on home activities and lessons, we have some lessons that are already up and ready to go for you. So for 2nd grade, we have about 6 lessons. You just click on this link and then pick a topic that you'd want your scholar to complete. They can do it on their own. And then there's lesson guides for families, kind of explains to you why the lesson's important and what they're learning about, but there's videos and interactive activities to do for each of these lessons. So there's all that stuff. And then down here, our home activities, we have them in English and Spanish. And those are strictly activities that you can do with your scholar. I always tell the girls, this is usually their homework for me. And they have to have it done with a parent and have a parent signature. So I decided to give them all to you guys so that you can complete them with your scholars um, at your leisure. So that's character education. We also have anti-bullying resources. This is a really useful page, especially right now when scholars are really using technology a lot at this point. There's DASA stands for the Dignity for All Students Act. So this link will bring you and explain all of our policies and procedures for bullying at Brighter Choice. There's a link here for you to report bullying incidents to me. It's an online form that you could email to me. But then I also have resources about if your child is being targeted from bullying. There's also things on there for her to do, like how do I handle it? What do I do from a scholar's perspective? There's a link here for if your scholar is being or exhibiting bullying behaviors. So you can click on that. There's also information for the scholar on there, like, do you want to change your behavior? What can you do that's more positive? There's a whole link here with bystanders versus upstanders. So bystanders are the people that stand by and watch what's going on. The upstanders are the ones that actually stand up and do something about the bullying. The big one here, and I think what's really important, me and Ms. Lalonde agreed that this is really important right now, is the cyberbullying. But just down here, there's a couple of videos that you can watch that goes into a little bit more depth about bullying. But I really wanted to show you the cyberbullying link because this was really important. So it goes and talks about what cyberbullying is. There are laws against cyberbullying. There's a ton of resources for parents, but then there's also things for the kids to go on and do. A lot of these have activities and videos and interactive things that kids can do to learn about bullying and what to do if they see it. Have some interviews and videos. This was the big one. It's not just TikTok. If you click on this link, it's online guides for parents. So it's guides that will help you to understand how TikTok and Instagram, cyber safety, Roblox, it says Snapchat, all of these social media sites, how you can be preventative and help your scholar from not bullying others and help them if they see others being bullied. And just setting like parental guidelines and recommended, hours of usage and that kind of thing. So this is really, really, really helpful. The next page is we have Sisterhood. At Brighter Choice, so we have some ways to encourage your scholar. We talk about empathy all the time. There are a ton of books on this link for empathy and kindness read alouds. Some of my favorite books are on there. We also have our Sisterhood of Brighter Choice scholars with all of their past performances from the Diversity Days to Black History Month, our Hop and Pop performance a couple years ago. So you can go on here and see all of your scholars' performances. So that's the Sisterhood. And then Miss Lalonde's going to talk about the resources page.
Okay, so Miss Appleby, can you just go back and click on resources on the drop down again, please?
Yep.
So under resources, you're going to see 3 pages. So we have our main resource page. Then we have food resources, and then little children, big challenges. So obviously, we're going to talk about the main page here real quick first. So these are national and local resources. If you're, facing some challenges right now with being home, these are some things that can help you. If your child is facing a mental health crisis, there is mobile, or a family member is facing a mental health crisis during this time. There's mobile crisis, there's Equinox, there's some domestic violence resources, and everything that a parent could really need to help navigate such a challenging time right now when they're at home. I also want to call attention to the food resources page. So that is just different ways to get in contact with the food pantry, to be able to access food. If you are having a hard time with that, I know it can be challenging right now. Um, Also, please reach out to me. I have some other food resources that are not on here. I've been in contact with local churches around the area just to kind of get their hours and their times and make sure they're still operating. So if food is something that you are concerned about, please reach out to me. Everybody goes through hard times, and right now it is nothing to be embarrassed about. So please reach out to us if that is a concern for your family. And then Miss Appleby, do you want to talk about little children, big challenges?
Yep, this
And then
is just
that will be it.
a resource for parents and this is for any time of the year, really, not just during this COVID thing going on. This is ways that you can help talk to your child about divorce, general resilience, so losing something like losing a game or failing a test, or how do we bounce back and be resilient. There's links in here for if your family member is incarcerated. There's information to help you start a conversation about child abuse. It's just a really, we want parents to have as many resources as possible to be able to talk to their kids about these tough things. And if you ever have any questions, or you want to run something by us, or before you talk to your child, feel free to call us or email us. Like I said, we're available pretty much all the time. So please use us. We're here, and we can help you navigate those waters if need be. So this is our wellness website. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff on here. So it's not just for parents, it's for scholars as well. There's a lot of activities and things that they can do. I really love the Get Up or the Be Active page, because they need to get their energy out still, even though, we're not in the parks as much as we used to be. So me and Miss Lalonde just wanted to introduce this to you. And, like we said before, if there's anything that you need, please reach out to us. And thank you for taking the time to watch our video.
Yes, we miss you guys.
Miss you so much, so much. Can't wait to see you soon.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Good. I like that.